Welcome into this week's Liberty Flames women's basketball show. Today we're going to be joined by Coach Carey Green and get a look at, the season in general, but specifically how the fall practices have gone and the fact that it seems like it flew by and it's time to play basketball. The calendar already says November, and that means we're less than a week away from the Lady Flames taking the court in what will be a very, very tough out-of-conference schedule. And I shouldn't stop there because the conference schedule is going to be tough as well, as it's the first year for Liberty in Conference USA. So let's welcome in Coach Green. As I think we've done this same interview for who knows how many years, and every time I say, boy, it seems like this offseason flew by. Can you believe it's already time to play basketball? But here we are again. It seems we were just talking about the schedule coming out in August, and now it's time to play that schedule.
Yeah, Jamie, it's been exciting challenges that we've had as we go into this year, and a lot of young players, a lot of things we got to get accomplished. So been a lot of work.
Tell us a little bit about how, because I know things have kind of evolved a little bit as far as the NCAA. There used to be like a hard fast, you can start practicing this day, and that was when the Midnight Madness kind of came about. I forget if it was Kentucky or Indiana or who it was. Men's basketball team said, well, if we can't start till October 15th, let's start at midnight on October 15th. And now things aren't quite as hard and fast. The rules have changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's still very defined with 40 days before your first game you can start practicing. You have to take 12 days off. So do the math. You know, you've got 28 days of practice, and you got to schedule them. And pretty simple. We'd all be sore, and we'd all be probably in a position to have an injury if we had 4 or 5 days or 8 days in a row or 7 days in a row in practice. So we typically go 3 days on, a day off, 2 days on, a day off, so that covers the whole week. We shuffle those around. There's going to be challenges where we're playing 3 games in a row in Thanksgiving against some unbelievable talent, and we've got to be able to go 3 to 4 days in a row there at high levels. So we adjust accordingly, and only 4 more days before we tip it off and just start the season as we continue adjusting and going through the challenges and becoming a champion for Christ.
How has fall practice gone? I know we'll talk about an individual practice after a tough loss. You know, maybe 2 days later you say, boy, we had a good practice. I feel good about this next game. But we don't usually talk about a chunk like that. But from the point that you could go at it full steam, full team, coaching staff to now, have you liked how your team has looked in practice?
This team, I absolutely love this team. This team gets along with one another. They're close bonded, great chemistry. We've had retreats to just continue to solidify what we're trying to do because they're a young team. Now, what does that mean? We're going through some learning curves, some adjustment. We're trying to progress. We're making some changes. So we're certainly not the March Madness team right now, but they are a very exciting team that they really like each other, and from a coaching staff, we love them, and they're talented. It's just going to be a matter of time that we get the timing down, the chemistry down, all the plays in, counter plays. And that's where we're at. We're sort of running out of time, but we've got enough offensive and defensive schemes and strategies to be successful. Now it's going to come down to probably the most critical. It's not necessarily the play, but it's how hard or effective you are with your effort and imposing your will offensively and defensively. That's where we're at right now, and we're still learning. We're not there. We're progressing. We're a team under construction right now.
Overall, would you say this is a very similar? It's going to be a similar style that we've seen in the past, or I know there have been times when you've kind of had to, modify your approach a little bit because you've got a more European-laden team. We've seen that in the past with the Jelenas, and if you go back even further, the Lithuanian influence that you had back in the early 2000s, and you've got a little bit of that this year too.
Yeah, every year each team has their own identity. It'd be great if you have a seasoned team and you get to have them for 2 years. We lost quite a bit of talent last year, and we've got 6 new faces, and we got a lot of adjustments. We're trying to figure that out right now. They're talented, and they can be very successful. They have good scoring ability. We have some ideas, but we cannot say it's the same team it was last year, because there's things that this team does that, from an offensive perspective, that is really pretty good. It's got an advantage over last year's team. But again, the experience and making the right pass, making the right read, knocking down the shots, we can do it. But understanding our defensive concepts and things like that is not there yet. But we cannot follow the same blueprint that we've had with this team that we had last year. We're just a different team, and our identity is different. Now, there's fundamentals we don't want to get away from. Let's rebound, and let's play solid defense. And I'm excited to see what this group will do and how well they'll focus and mature through the season.
We'll talk a little bit in depth here during our next segment about the specific roster and what each player's role will be. But in more of an overview, you've had a few injuries already to deal with in the offseason, injuries and illnesses, and it didn't even leave the coaching staff immune.
Yeah. We lost a very good player, Ping, early in the season, actually 2 weeks into real practice. She was potentially a starter. I was expecting her to start, and she has the ability to play all over the floor, good defensively, knock down the three, play inside, outside, and she was really attacking the basket very well early in the practice sessions we had. So we're going to really miss her. She's a utility player, can play several positions. So we've had to make some adjustments, and some young people have had to step up in roles that we would love for them to grow into instead of being thrown into the lion's den, so to speak. But great depth on the team. And so if somebody that can't get the job done or is in foul trouble or injured or sick, then next man up or next lady up, okay, so to speak. And it wasn't just limited right there as well. We've had Alexis Sherrard, who's been with us 17, 18 years, and he's my right-hand man. He's the associate head coach, and he had some health issues. And as he got through some tests and things like that, he needed to have open heart surgery. So now that's another level, okay. And he's recovering right now. We had a Zoom meeting with him today. He's physically limited, but mentally, man, I mean, he's right here on the court yelling and screaming now. And it's going to take some time for him, but we certainly miss him, and ask Flames Nation to continue to pray for him and Ping and the entire team as we go through these early challenges in our season this year.
Yeah, I knew something was wrong because I stopped for about 2 weeks there. I stopped getting any Instagram reels with the funny, like the funny ones where fail videos or a kid saying something they shouldn't say or whatever. He usually keeps me pretty entertained. And you go, wait a minute, I haven't gotten one of those in about a week or so, and that was about the time I got a text from him and said that he had been in the hospital. So yeah, he's definitely missed, but I'm sure you're going to have a hard time keeping him away. As soon as the doctor says it's okay, I imagine he's going to be right back in the flow of things.
Yeah, he's helping us with scouting and video, and he'll be involved as much as possible. Actually, probably more than he's ever been in the video part, and it'll be refreshing.